Africa does not need change. It needs to remember. We as Africans, what we should be agitating for is our memories to be reactivated. Because I think all of us have heard the expression, there's nothing new under the sun. It's actually in the Bible. History repeats itself. Every single thing you're living through is just an iteration of what has already been. All the industrial revolutions from the first to now, we are living through the fourth and we are heading towards the fifth. They are just the same thing repeating themselves. The stimuli in the system are the same. For Africa, especially politically, we have been stuck in the system. What we have been reliving is a system that was set in place, especially for us who are under the Anglo, the British, is a system that they set in place 10 to 5 years before independence. They locked a system in place that would ensure, as much as they leave this continent, they will never really have left. We will never really be free. So what we are seeing is the thing they set in motion as they were anticipating freedom, where they ensured that the people who took power are the people who are smart enough to stand above the rest, but not morally upright enough to fight for the weak. So what we need as Africans is to remember a time when we had the kind of leaders who fought for the weak, who defended what was right, not necessarily what served them. So we don't need change, we need to remember. Because we build from what we know. Every system in life, you build it from what you know. There's nothing new that comes from wherever that you then use to build. It's from what you know that you build. So once our memory is activated and we go back to a place where there was morality, there was ethics in our systems, that we can shut down the too much bureaucracy where everyone is a manager and no one is a worker, because that's one of the things that we are suffering from. If we can shut all those things out and we start rewarding merit, true merit, not naive meritocracy, like true, sober, realistic merit, then things will begin to change. Systems respond to what has been fed in as input. So the moment we remember and we start restructuring everything from that memory, not the memory of we were oppressed, not the memory of we are victims, because that's what we have been building from for the longest time, but the memory of we are great, we are a community, we love one another, we are capable, we are excellent, then you'll start seeing like true change and growth. Okay, so I am inviting you today to begin to remember. No amount of education will make a difference. No amount of expatriation will make a difference on this continent. The thing that we need to do is reactivate our memories. We need to go back to a time when we were great and then build from there. Because for you to see positive manifestation of good in your life, you have to believe that you're worth that good. If you believe you are a victim, then that is what you will keep reproducing. If you believe you're great, then that is what you will reproduce. I know I am saying the same thing over and over and over again, but I need you to understand it. That unless you remember that you are great, you will never truly be great. Unless you remember that you are excellent, you will never truly be excellent. Because within your DNA is coded all that information. So it just depends on which part of your DNA you focus on which part of your nature you focus on. Because within you is a power to be great, and within you is a power to be a failure. Within you is a power to do great things, and within you is a power to end up miserable and live a mediocre life. It just depends on which part you remember and then you hold on to for dear life.